everyone is sort of assuming government intervention in the markets, government intervention on behalf of the have-nots is a bad thing. That was not the rhetoric 70 years ago. It wasn't even close. That's a very recent phenomenon, a very modern phenomenon, and it traces exactly one-to-one, almost to the minute, when people of color began to gain access to those programs. That is not a coincidence, you see. So you can say that you're against big government and you want low taxes. I'm not going to say that your motivation is inherently racist as a result of that, but trust me when I tell you that if you came of age in this country in the last 40 years, it is impossible to disentangle those two narratives. The one that is about government size and taxation size, and the other which is about black and brown folk. Those two narratives have been inherently woven together for almost a half a century. You cannot tell me that somehow they are unique and independent of one another, because they aren't. So this narrative is what the right wants to control. They want to erase the role of race in their narrative, even though the role of race in their narrative has been central. Now here's the sad fact. In response to the manipulation of that white racial anxiety, using coded language, using dog whistles like low taxes and small government and individual responsibility, never actually necessarily using terms that are overtly racist, but everyone knows what they mean. Unfortunately, in response, those on the nominally liberal left remain silent. At least silent insofar as one might otherwise call out what it really is. Because those on the liberal left are afraid, as Barack Obama in 2004 was afraid to acknowledge the truth about this country's ongoing racial divisions. So we talk about anything but race. We talk about healthcare. We don't talk about racism within the healthcare delivery system. We talk about healthcare, universal coverage, which is very important. I don't know anyone on the left who doesn't support it. But we don't talk about the research now, over 100 studies in the last 10 years, all of which say what? Independent of your economic status, independent of whether you have health care coverage or not, independent of issues of access and affordability, black and brown folks are experiencing bodily health crises as a result of racism in their everyday lives. Over 100 studies, one of which was published in the American Journal of Public Health in 1996, 8 years before Barack Obama gave that "We Are a United States of America" speech, 12 years before he was elected, on the part of people who believed it was an evidence of post-raciality in our country. And what did the study say? It said that the consequences, the effects of racism and discrimination against people of color have just as much of an impact on blood pressure, hypertension, and the related health consequences of those things as high salt diets, lack of exercise, and smoking.